35, verse 14. This is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 14. Thus saith the Lord God, when the whole earth rejoices, I will make thee desolate. That's also speaking about when these people say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. That's what it's talking about. I will make thee desolate, and it's speaking to a certain people. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because that's what happened. We were led back into captivity into the so-called white man. Because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord. So now it's speaking about Seir, Mount Seir. So where's Mount Seir? Where's Mount Seir? Who's from Mount Seir? Whatever you want to ask. Well, let's go to. Well, first of all, that proves that Idumea and Seir. Seir is Edom, Edomites, Esau. That's who Idumea is. They're the same people. So I'm gonna go to Genesis chapter 32, verse 3. This is to prove that Esau, the so-called white man, is Idumea and is from the land of Seir. This is Genesis chapter 32, verse 3. And Jacob, who is Israel, sent messengers before him to Esau his brother unto the land of Seir. Says to him his brother Esau. And like it just said in Ezekiel, when he took inheritance, when Idumea or Seir had taken the inheritance of Israel, and that's what happened. They're brothers, but he took them into captivity. He broke that brotherly covenant as well. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom. Right there, Edom. That Edom, Esau, Seir, it's all Esau. So I'm going to go to Genesis chapter 25, verse 30. This is let's see. This is Genesis chapter 25, verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me." Well, first, I'm gonna start at I'm gonna start right there. And Jacob said, or 32, hold on, 30. And Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint." Therefore was his name called Edom. And Edom just means red. But that time was whenever he was trying to give up his, Esau was going to sell his birthright. And he just despised it. But he's also that devil. Because I'm going to get into that in a minute. What it describes characteristics of Esau. How he was, how they acted. How Jacob, who is Israel, acted. And I'm going to describe to you the color characteristics. And it's going to all line up together. How y'all think there's this red demon. But yet the characteristics of Esau, the so-called white man, fits the exact description of the devil, your little spiritual devil. He is red because he lacks melanin and pigment in his body, and he's not able to tan like us. It'll say. Well, I'm gonna get into it in a minute, but I'm gonna give you the characteristics of Esau, the so-called white man, the devil. This is Genesis chapter 4, verse 3. Well, I'm gonna start at verse 2. Genesis chapter 4, verse 2. And she again bare his brother Abel. I'm gonna start at verse 1. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep. Now you got to listen to these characteristics, because these same characteristics that are being described right now, you're going to hear about later too. There's going to be a similarity between Cain and Abel and Jacob and Esau. So Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. So Abel, all he did was he would be with the sheep, and he would chill after that. He would take care of his sheep and then go back to his house. But Cain was a tiller of the ground, which meant he was always about harvesting fruit. He was out in there trying to do what he had to do to get food. But he went upon to gain on him to him. He took upon the earth, which is one of Esau's blessings, that he would use the earth to gain. And in process of the time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. So when Abel and Cain came to present themselves to the Lord, they offered up some sacrifices, and Cain only gave fruits. Which, I mean, you think about it, and then Abel gave the firstlings of his flock. And it said that the Lord did not respect Cain's because it wasn't a good offering, but he respected Abel's because he did it with the righteous work. And it said that, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. So it means Cain became all feminine. He got mad, and after that his countenance fell. He got all sad and droopy. But let's read on. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? So the Lord is asking, why are you mad? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? So if you were doing well, you would be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. So the Lord was telling Cain to his face that he rejected his offering because he didn't do good. He wasn't doing good. It was an evil work. He didn't, because when you sacrifice to the Lord, it ain't going to be just something that you can, because in Cain's mind, he was just sacrificing something that he could sufficiently do without being brought to a struggle. He just brought whatever he wanted. But Abel brought out a righteous sacrifice. He sacrificed the firstling of his flock, one of his most probably loved sheep of his herd. It was something important to him, and he was willing to sacrifice it still. But Cain just brought a fruit, which is not even a big sacrifice. It's not a big sacrifice. So that's why it wasn't counted as righteousness to him. But it says, and if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. So the Lord already knew Cain, and he knew that Cain wasn't doing a good work. He knew Cain was being evil. He was trying to hold back. Cain was trying to hold back. And it said, if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. So sin was already in him. It was waiting for him. And it was going to keep being with him. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. So right there, that man of sin that I was telling you about earlier in 2 Thessalonians, right there, it proves that, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. So Cain was the father of sin. Esau, which that spirit that's going to be played from Cain to Esau, because there's a mark, you got to go through the whole mark and the curse that's put on them. You're going to see that spirit of Cain, that spirit of the serpent, the spirit of the devil, it's all going to be played out into Esau, the so-called white man. And that's how we know that he's the devil that the Bible speaks of today, and that he's the father of sin, because we know he works with the left-hand side of the spirits. Okay, verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. So right there, what did the devil do from the beginning? He lied to Eve. He tried to be crafty, sneaky like the serpent is, and then he was a murderer. The devil is a murderer. Like it says in John chapter 8 verse 44, you are your father the devil. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. He was a murderer from the beginning. How? A murderer from the beginning. Cain was the first man ever in the Bible to ever commit murder. And the Lord, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. It's right there. He started lying again. Am I my brother's keeper? And after that, he got smart with the Most High. He was like, am I my brother's keeper? Like, I don't know, why? Am I supposed to be watching him or what? That's pretty much what he just said. Like, and that's why he got the curse, man. You don't want to get smart with the Most High. He will mess you up. Like it says in Hebrews chapter 10 verse 31, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Lord. And now, so now we're going to get into the curse of Cain. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground. So He knew that he murdered Cain, or Abel. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Now, I don't have a sophisticated looking computer where y'all can put up those scriptures or the Blue Letter Bible, but I can just tell you, I can read to you. If you go to blueletterbible.org and you look at the word vagabond, the vagabond, if you notice from what I was speaking on earlier about when I was proving what the devil does, what he is, how it said that he goes to and fro from the earth, to and fro through the earth. Well, let's read what vagabond means. I got it from Genesis 4 and 12. Let's see. The word vagabond means to shake, wave, wander, move to and fro, flutter, show grief, have compassion on. To move to and fro, wander, to cause to wander aimlessly. Right there. To move oneself to and fro, sway, totter. So right there, that's matching exactly the description of what the devil, Satan, was doing in Job chapter 1 and 7 and Zechariah 1 and 8, or 1 and 9. Sorry. Cain is become a fugitive, which means to wander to and fro. He's a wanderer and a fugitive. That's what he's going to be. That connects and lines up directly with who the devil is. When the Lord is speaking to the devil and Job and Zechariah. I'm going to continue. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. So Cain was already whining still, but yet he wanted to murder his brother. And that's what Esau does. Whenever he gets in a tight situation, he'll try to get out of whatever he's trying